What is up, guys? It's Steve Uberman here, and we'll be doing the deck profile for Raging Form. Big Bun, I'm upset.
Well,
You're always upset.
first of all, this is the start I run because 1, he has Revenger in his name, and 2, if he boosts a Phantom, which is the Break Ride, which is very compatible with his Raging Form for him, because I don't want to deck out, and he hits, Counterblast 1, put him into Soul. If he hits anything, including a rear guard, guys, then call 2 grade 1s as rest from the deck.
Get the right rear guard
Meaning you
on board.
get 2 more rear guards for Raging Form to sack and restand again, because his effect is in once per turn.
Yep.
Against decks that play the grade 2 game, you want to ride him, and you'll never have to worry about not having him in hand.
The deck got become more consistent.
Of this grade 1 right here, which made the deck amazing.
I have 2 SP.
And the best part is, it's a Revenger, so you can call it off of mana. For 1 Counterblast, you get to add Raging Form to your hand. And because his ability to restand isn't Counterblast heavy, you don't mind counterblasting 1 card with Revenger in his hand. By the way, your whole deck is Revenger, so you'll never not be able to counterblast for him. And if you have him in hand, call him anyways to get this, and you can call this, to get what I run 3 of, the Delimiter.
Helps a lot.
I don't want to take early damage in this deck, and because I easily get my hand back with Raging Form, I guard early, and at 1 damage, I can restand.
Or no damage.
Or no damage, but you know, I usually just say 1 counter.
This is one deck you never want to stay grade 2 against.
They will destroy you. Do not stay against this. It's grade 2s.
And it's not once per turn. You can actually, if you're able to pay for his cost, you can keep restanding over and over again.
Yep.
If you can pay the cost.
That's why I run 3 of this. I run 3 of this because if your field is, if you're on him, and you do this, and any other Revenger here, well, you sacrifice 3 Revengers after you swing to ride him. Whatever. To ride him. These are gone. And when she dies,
You call the grade 1, right?
yep, a grade 1 Revenger in its name, which is perfect for him. So you counterblast, you call any grade 1 you want.
Get a booster.
This, anything really.
Anything for a booster for the next attack.
No, because it does come out standing. However, once I do this, I've already swung with this column, which will preferably be this. And these 3 are rested. I sack them again to restand for the Raging Form. A 3rd time. So these will all be gone. So you'll never get the attack off. However, you'll get the other Revenger you need to restand again. Dark Bless, MVP.
Why do you run the break ride?
I run the Break Ride
Other than for the starter.
in the instances that a deck cannot play the grade 2 game with me, then I want to ride him and then sit on him, because it's very threatening when there's 3 Raging Forms swinging at you for 21 each. And he, on top of being a Revenger and a Phantom, if I have him in the hand, I haven't seen him already, then just sitting on him is threatening enough. And by the way, you can still call Mar to get a copy of him to stride with next turn. So if you're just not seeing Raging Form, then you stride into Orgeyser and you're getting hand for it.
He really helped the deck. He helps you like not play Stride Neighbor. You don't have to play Stride Neighbors in this deck.
It was once I was playing a game, and this is my 5th check. I revealed 2 heal triggers off of Orgeyser, which is kind of sad. And then I drove check a crit, Dark Bless, and this guy. And I'm like, oh, perfect. All I need is 1 to go off. I Break Ride next turn. I Superior Call this, because it's grade 2 or lower. And then Counterblast, add a copy of him. Just like that. another superior call. That's why I run
Because
more.
Raging Form really doesn't counterblast. You never counterblast first skill. He's free.
Which is why this guy is my finishing ace. If they survived my Raging Form turns, then this guy who has the same ability except it's during the turn that he legions and it's counterblast too. Only the rear guards are the only thing that really counterblast in this deck, so it's really okay to run him. Plus, by the amount of times that you're gonna restand with them, you're gonna deck out, especially since you run 4 draw triggers. I run 4 draws, 8 crits, 4 heals.
Standard.
Yeah. I was thinking about putting in more draws, but I need the Revenger name, and
I don't know why they haven't given you another
deck
set of
out.
Revenger draws. They should already.
I wish Halal said Revenger. That'd be nice. And just to recap, guys, my grade 3 lineup, if I can find it. 4 Raging Forms, 3 Mordreds, and PBA. My grade 1 lineup, 4 of these. I do not run Karma Collector because Karma Collector does not have Revenger in its name.
And sometimes you do need them.
Yes.
You might have to call them out. It's sad when you have to call them out. Yeah.
I've called him off of her, because my hand was getting really low. And it was one of those really short games where I've dropped my hand and they're already at 5 and I'm trying to restand with Raging Form, but I blocked all the cards and they've been hitting crits, and there's nothing I can do about that. And there's no more grade 1 Revengers in my deck, then I'll just call her. It's something. It's definitely something.
Better than nothing.
It's 14, can swing a rear guard, an important rear guard that they
And if they
need.
want to keep it, it's a 10k anyways.
And if they don't, they lose an intercept. And you're thinning the deck out from a non-trigger. Especially if you draw him and you don't have anything to throw down, and you need to restand with either PBA or Raging Form, then you throw him as a booster, and God bless. Because I ran Karma Collector, and I've been in that situation. I'm like, I needed to draw any Revenger in the deck, but instead I drew Karma Collector, and that screwed me over the game. But now I run Revenger triggers.
But with Blasting Dark and Dorn, you should be able to really easily control your counterblast.
Yep, 3 Dorns, 3 Delimiters, and 4 Mars.
Because you want to add your pieces as quickly as possible.
This is a free stride, and this is a free Raging Form. Because the problem was the deck before they got all this support was that you would heal off your first drive check, and it'll be like, oh man, but I had the Raging Form in hand. Now that you have this, that solves the healing problem. Or my Raging Forms will hit the damage. This solves that problem. That's why this deck is super consistent, because you run 4 copies of mana and 4 copies of him.
So you're gonna get it all. You're gonna get it all.
You will have Raging Form in your hand.
The moment you draw 1, you're gonna get the rest.
There's a lot of grade 2 decks in the meta that just, like Jewel Knights, they play Sword Me, they want to stay at grade 2,
Sanctuary Guard with Ben on.
everything.
Yep.
But because you're playing Raging Form, you just get Raging Form in your hand, you stand, and that's it. They're gonna be at more than 4 damage. So recap 4 manas. Only 3 of them, because yeah, there's been times where I won off Diablo because I've counterblasted, but I mostly do this for the unflipping engine. Which is really good, because you counterblast off of Dark Bless and counterblast off of Mark. And there's been times where I'm on him and using his skill, which is when he attacks, you can counterblast 1 and he gains 3k. Guess what? By himself, that's 14, and if they're playing the grade 2 game, 10k is one to pass. So there's been times where I want to do that, but I'm like, oh man, I kind of want the counterblast for Orguys or Diablo or PVA even, if they survive this. And then I unflip with him and Dorn. So even though he doesn't require counterblast, it's always nice because it changes numbers up. Oh, so 3 Dark Blasters.
And then the 1 mate.
Oh. And of course, 1 mate to make him viable. The deck doesn't really revolve around him. He's just there because I deck out a lot because I'm restanding like
And you're thinning out the deck like piece by piece.
I'm getting cards out of the deck and I'm dry checking like a whole lot of cards and I have Orgeyser. So be prepared to deck out, guys. And you know, if you haven't won by then. If you haven't won by then, this guy saves the day. They're gonna have to guard 22, minimum 22 twice. And that late in the game, when they've already been being pushed by Raging Form, they don't have that much of a hand. So that's why you go into him. I don't run more the mate because, like I said, counterblast management. If I have him in hand, I know myself. I'm gonna be tempted to retire stuff, but that's not really necessary. With all the cards you're drawing, you're gonna see him anyways. He has the damage, but I've won off of Raging Form, so it doesn't matter. And you can still heal them off anyways.
And they're secret. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And my trigger lineup. More draws, which have the Revenger in its name instead of Howl. You don't really need the soul for anything in this deck, so that's also another thing. I don't usually want to ride him. This is actually my grade 2 ride target, if anything. And then 8 crits. Because when you're restanding, this is very threatening. When you have crits on the rear guards, swinging, and then you have him swinging, and they say no guard for 21 to their 9k the second time, and then you crit. It usually ends things pretty much faster, and they all have Revenger in their name. Grim Revenger, Revenger Air Raid Dragon, and Revenger Undead Angel. And 4 heals because now that I have the delimiter, I don't have to worry about not being able to restand.
Yeah. And then G Guardians, you're gonna want to 4.
Oh yeah, also G Guardians.
Your strike lineup?
First off, we have one of him because I like options. That's why I run him as well. There's been times where I don't really want to go into Orgeyser.
Actually, he's really good for the mirror match.
Yeah, also really good for the mirror match because I don't get Diablo. But it's also him. He calls it grade 1. So if he hits and I call Mar and I get another copy of Raging Form, you don't want that happening. For free, basically. For mana, it's still free, but at least you have to call mana or have her in hand. So that's why you run 4. With him, he's good on hit pressure. You don't always have to go into Raging Form. Go into Orgeyser. I still run Orgeyser at 2 because it's a persona flip, and there's still times where I have that 1 counterblast, and I just want more cards because I'm greedy. And again, the conversation about decking out. So these 2 are for options. This, if you have the counterblast.
Yep.
For me, most of the time, I usually don't because I make numbers with Raging Form by using his counterblast. Sometimes I counterblasted twice for him. I'm like 11 plus 3 plus 3, 19. 17 plus 7k booster is 24 to their 9k again.
They're dead.
So I don't usually have counterblast left for him, but these are still pressure.
We got our party for my brother.
And then
Which happens to be better than me, Anthony.
The MVP.
4 Diablos.
He's the best.
I play 3 Blast Dark Rangers. So if I'm playing something like Grand Blue and they're hollowing their units, and all I need to kill is one thing.
All Bermuda triangles.
I have this. And
Or
I also
Pale
have
Moon, or
the
Pale
one
Moon.
of the mate.
Whatever does not feel.
Whatever's field goes away, like Pale Moons, Grand Blue. There's a lot of things there's a lot of decks lying around there that have their field going away.
Yep.
And even if their field doesn't go away, it's still Counterblast 1. He gets 10k in the crit. He gets that automatically. So
Yep, you don't
like
even
I
have to
said,
pay the cost to to kill them. Just gain 10k in a quick, still pressuring.
just the fact that Counterblast 1 free, which is free. let's not lie to ourselves. He gets 10k in a crit. That's forcing the PG out because there will be at more than 3 damage with your Raging Form turn. Because that's what the deck is revolved around.
All pressure.
Every single turn is more pressure. Pressure.
So, what are your best matchups and what are your worst matchups? You mentioned your best matchup is just free, Pale Moon and Grand Blue.
Also, anything that plays the Grade 2 game. Anything that wants to stride first, I'll let them stride. But I'm gonna restand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna restand on you. And because they're at Grade 2, they're not adding that much cards to their hand any turn. So any deck that loves to stay at Grade 2, I love those kind of matchups. It's basically free. And my worst matchups, I don't really have any. I don't really have any bad matchups. Because this is a shadow deck, unlike witches, that can retire their field. So if I'm playing something like Brawlers and they try to hit me, I'll have restood with him and my field is empty. My field is absolutely empty. I would have taken your hand away and leave you with nothing to punch.
The only card you would have to worry about would just be Conquest.
Yeah.
But
that's second turn stride.
you build enough hand to be ready for that turn anyway.
But that's second turn stride. First turn, they go into turbo and they can't punch anything. So I force them to
You have
go
to
into
waste on the
Saharias.
swords, and waste a stride.
Yeah. It's like, on hit, I don't really care if you bind anything. I'll still perfect guard you anyways because my hand will be pretty sizable at that point. Or something like Link Joker doesn't really scare me either. Like I said, my field will disappear. So, in my opinion, it has no bad matchup. But that's
And you
just
fucked up the whole thing. It's ass now. The whole
Right there.
deck shit real quick.
Alright guys, that's the deck profile. Team Movement sign off. This was our good friend, Sam. We appreciate it. Team Movement sign off.